So,
the first quarter, you hit the front and you
Yep.
lead for about a minute or so, and you look really good, really competitive. What do you think went wrong from there?
Probably lost a bit of faith. I would have thought that would be probably the first and foremost in what we're doing. We made a couple of skill errors, turned the ball over, and they capitalised. So what happened? You shell a little bit, and then they ran all over us. And then we did a lot of defensive running, and probably spent all our energy trying to defend more than try and take the game on. And they're a good running team. They're really good. And we just got, outrun in the end, and then eventually your contested possession comes into it, and the whole thing falls apart.
And what about the injury to Leuenberger?
Obviously that doesn't help. When you lose to your ruckman and then Pierce Hanley, one of your A-graders, before half-time again, that just sort of adds a bit of insult to injury as well. Try your sort of clamouring in the second half, even just trying to get your rotations in order and get game time into, you're playing kids in high-pressure roles after that. So I guess that didn't help either.
You lost by a huge margin, but there was some aspects where you had to be pleased early. Yeah,
look, there's very, very small patches in which we did what we required. I mean, there's too many small patches though. I think we've started every game quite solidly, to be perfectly honest. Our first quarters have been okay in containing the opposition. It's just it's just keeping our planning in place for longer.
Where do you go from here, and how do you keep the players up?
Give me some advice. I mean, when you say up, the only reason there's I guess a bit of cause to be issued is just some of the injuries we've copped the last few weeks of suspensions. I mean, there's been about 600-700 games walk out the door in the last 2 weeks. So you start your year pretty competitive against good teams.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and then you lose that sort of experience on a list that doesn't need that. That's probably but you got to fight your way through it. All good times come with bad times, and I'm not saying these are bad times, but excuse me, injuries. These players will come back from injuries and we'll be stronger for it. But just in this patch of the year, we're having to rely on our kids a little bit.
Justin, the first quarter was okay, as you say. The beginning of the other quarters weren't too bad either. Then we came to fall apart. So what's happening there?
That's common. That's common with probably kids and their legs a little bit. I don't really want to just point fingers at our kids, to be perfectly frank. I think we do have a decent amount of leaders that are out there on the field that can control the game. So there is a big responsibility on those men as well to steady the ship a little bit. But what tends to happen as a scoreboard really blows out, you make some errors, is a bit of self-preservation comes in. You forget all your team structures, and the way we want to attack and the way we want to defend sort of goes out the door a little bit and becomes a bit one-on-one in what you need to do. So there's a bit of that that's creeping in, and that's when the scoreboard really starts to blow out for us, I find.
It allows the opposition to set up their rhythm as well.
Exactly.
Where you played a little bit of tempo footy just to...
Yeah.
But not for a very long time.
No, well, last week we played too much tempo footy with not enough run, and at times this week we didn't, run enough early. I thought both teams were set up to switch the ball and use some run, except only one team wanted to do it. At the end, particularly in that first quarter, so they maximised their entries a little bit. I mean, we started with a spare back because we were very conscious of protecting our defensive 50 in the first quarter, so that helped. As you saw, it helped the scoreboard. It helped us. Start our transition, but we just couldn't get the run to branch out after that, which kept the ball in our front half. So, with new game styling comes a little bit of, confidence in what we're doing. Port seem supremely confident in their game styling, not just their run. So they anticipate before the ball's turned over. We kind of stop, wait, prop, we've got the ball, then we decide to move. So they're innate things, they're little things, but they're different sometimes between you getting out and getting on the outside of your opposition or not. And we're just not.
During the game, did you find out any more about your players today?
Yeah, you do. And the best part is you learn more about people. They'll learn more about me and how I behave in days like today, and we'll learn more about each other. And because what happens is the footy gets tough, and the higher you get up the ladder, the more pressure the games are, and the more it's like this where things aren't going your way, and you've got to still be able to fight through it.
When you said you lost the faith, why did that happen so quickly?
Well, I didn't lose the faith. Look, it's probably individual for each person. Why? Sometimes they might not be touching the football themselves, so they run to a position to get it as opposed to the right position. As I said, team offence, defence is not an easy thing to just put together overnight. But there's a lot of parts that we need to coach better, and other parts that players need to take ownership of as well. I mean, it's their whole club approach. It's not one particular player, and it's not one particular staff member. It's the whole club. Everyone does their little bit. We'll get better quicker.
Do you have any initial prognosis on Leuenberg
No, I think Louis is just a bit of a meniscus. So whether it's a minor couple of week or 5-6 week, hopefully it's not a surgery candidate. But these things tend to be found out by scans. And Pierce Hanley's hamstring is, whether it's 3, whether it's 6. Once again, that'll be determined by scanning.
So do you have to look at more kids now?
You got no one left. I might have to come out of retirement if we keep going like this. We don't have. I mean, Luke McGuan's back next week as a senior player. I think that's the only one. I think Josh Green might be another week, and obviously Daniel Merritt's got another week's of suspension. So I would have thought next Thursday night. We've only got a 5-day turnaround. Ryan Lester was out of the team today, so I mean, I assume he'd come back in through our midfield as well. So, so we are a bit light on at the moment. But as I said, you have to tough it out.
What do you think about the new Adelaide Oval?
Yeah, great. I mean, fantastic. Great facility. Didn't really enjoy it, I must say, to be perfectly honest. You have a game like that, but I'm sure it's great for the locals and the place in the town. Excuse me?
Coach facility?
Coach facilities? Yeah, great. Yeah, no complaints. Thank you.